It's a big difference between a woman not having children and a man not having children.
Y'all can't be real with this stupid double standard. Subscribe. Let's talk about it.
Women without kids are rare. It's the same thing with men nowadays because they all got baby mamas now.
When a woman tells me, oh, I don't have children, even if she's 40 plus, I can understand why, because a woman has to birth the child, carry the child. She's going to be the main caregiver to the child. Everything. But a man not having children 40 plus, it's like, oh, I can see why women don't take you seriously. I can see why if you did get someone pregnant, they said, I'm going to hit the clinic because I'm not about to have an extension of you. I'm not about to have a tie to you forever. It's a big difference between a woman not having children and a man not having children. Bitch, I promise
it looks
you every single time you're going to find out why nobody would ever fucking push some shoulders through their coochie for that man.
Let me chime in on that because I don't want to have an extension of you. Bro, that I'm telling y'all straight up, outside of the jokes, that behavioral issue, that gets passed down for real.
That's some genetic shit, right? I can testify to that.
Yeah,
that is some like, and you could spot it from a mile away. And like, I don't know, bro, you just have to be aware of like really who you have kids with, and like,
yeah, sure. This is part of the fallacy when you're so mired in misandry, when you're constantly looking for men to be the bad guys. This is what you end up sounding like, as if this is the only scenarios that exist, as if you're looking and saying, okay, if you are 40 plus and you don't have any kids, there's something wrong with you, a reason why no woman ever wanted to have your genetic, material pushed through her legs. You never stop to think that as much as critical as you can be about people, as you can reason and make sense for yourself, that you decide who you want to have a child for, that men aren't also doing the very same thing. Those men that said, okay, I would love to have children, I would love to have the family, but if I can't do it in the right way, in the way I deem right, in an actual committed, loving relationship in a marriage, then I don't want to do it at all. You can completely understand that. You say the same things when it comes down to, well, if I'm going to be married to a man and I have to work, you don't want to do it at all. You'd rather pay 100% of bills than do this. You don't want to do the unpaid labor. So the scenarios that exist that prevent you from doing X, Y, and Z. Same thing happens to men. You just don't think men are capable of reasoning. You just don't think that men say no to women. You don't think that men look at each and every one of you there and say, I don't want to be associated with this. You see it realistically, you see it a lot. When the men don't approach you, when you get up, dolled up, you're out in the club and you come back complaining online, no one approaches me. They may have looked at you and said, I don't want to be attached to that. Men say no. That's the problem. You think because you're a woman and you arrive there, that men are automatically, they want to now have kids with you. They look at you, they evaluate you, they say the same thing. I don't want to share the rest of my life with you. I don't want to share it in a way we're tied to the hip with our kid. I don't want to do that with you. I see your character, I see your behavior, I see the way you talk and treat men. I don't want any parts of that. I don't want to have to now deal with this for the rest of my life. I'm good. I'm going to keep it pushing. Some men have discernment. Most men have discernment. The fact is, most of the people, especially in the Black community that have kids, most of them are the same type of man. They're having multiple kids. You have a larger majority, or at least a majority that don't have any children. Because one, they want to do it in the way that makes sense to them. Two, maybe they don't have any options. They don't have any optionality with women. So they're stuck just not passing on their genetic material. But either way, the problem always is them. Am I trying to dissuade and say women don't absolutely do this? Yeah, you do. But you also complain that somehow you were tricked. You didn't see how awful he was but you already had his baby. You already had his second one. So you want us to hold both instances of reality in our hand, where you were able to look and identify and say, those behavioral traits that you have, I don't want to push that out. So I'm not going to have your baby. You've still been having sex with him. You've still been around him. You still allowed him into you. But now you see the behavioral traits, say, okay, no baby for you. But then your baby daddy is the scum of the earth. You didn't identify those traits then? You didn't see that? What we have here is a way to try to even the playing field through shame, guilt, and nonsense. when men are saying, especially the men that you're looking for that don't have any kids, that make the money, that have the resources, when they're saying, well, this is what I want, even those men that have kids already, they're saying, this is what I'm looking for from the future. I can stop to be picky. And one of the sticking points is, yo, you got a kid. You got multiple kids. That excludes you. You're trying to make it seem like, well, no, I understand this. What really is the problem is the men that don't, the ones that are eligible bachelors, the ones that aren't tied down to a family. No, there's got to be something wrong. That's why they don't have kids. No, they just have some men just have discernment, and you don't qualify. That's it. Even if you're single, they look at you and they say, cool, this shouldn't be a thing. This shouldn't be a thing that we continue to do. At the very least, even if we're just having fun, I don't want to have this forever. We take a step back, a macro view like we like to do here. Some men are looking at the playing field and saying, this doesn't make any fiscal sense. This doesn't make any sense to me to have this sort of thing play out for the rest of my life. I don't want to be with someone where now I have to shrink and be less than. I don't like the playing field in which we were supposed to operate in. I don't like that the idea is that for all the work that I do, or all the work that I have to do, I now have to regulate myself to an existence where we have to focus on you and all the unpaid labor that you claim to do. You want to be a stay-at-home wife, but then you don't want to be a stay-at-home wife. You want to have your own money and you don't want to contribute that money to the family. If we can't find a through line where we say, let's ignore the noise and let's find out what works best for us, I don't want to include someone in there. The men that have sought peace, and peace takes a long time to cultivate, they get to that ripe age of 40 and they say, from what I've seen, from my own experience, it may not be worth it. The juice may not be worth the squeeze, because every other day you have new rhetoric, a new reason why your accomplishments need to be minimized. What she's done needs to be hyped up and needs to be extolled. So we all have to say, listen, the things that I do on a daily basis, for me, no one bats an eye out. But when you do those same things, you get to claim that you're independent, you made it. You pay your own bills, you have your own car, you have your own apartment, you have your own house. We celebrate that and say, this makes you so great and super and amazing. Men that say, you know what, I'm just gonna take a step back and let all this play out. If it so happens that I meet someone that's super dope, amazing, that fits my standards, then sure, I'm willing to actually go down the aisle. I'm willing to have that kid, have that child with them. I look forward to that idea. But for those of you that have adopted this sort of mentality, that's got to be something wrong with me because I don't conform to how you look, how you live. I don't like the way you talk about men. I don't want to have that around me in any sort of capacity. It's just using discernment and saying, I don't think you're good enough for me. And that's sometimes a scary thing to hear, that you don't, as a woman, that you don't qualify. You don't meet his standards for having a kid. If you want us to believe this, that you guys are always the arbiters of he deserves a kid if he doesn't, then why do you completely complain about the type of men you have kids with? Your baby daddies ain't shit. You have a negative affect, you have a negative view on men, but you're allowing these men to impregnate you. You're pushing out their babies, then trying to make it seem as if we're wrong for saying, I don't want to be a baby daddy.